A famous contemporary historian once said that humans fight for stories. At first, that sounds poetic, but it raises a question. Why? Why would someone give one's life for a story? What is hidden inside these narratives that makes them worth dying for? Here's the thing. The stories people defend are not fairy tales to them. They are their lenses, frameworks, maps. Through these stories, they understand who they are, where they stand in the world, what their suffering means, who is right, who is wrong, what is sacred. When a group fights for its story, it is not protecting a tale, it is protecting its collective sense of self. Strip away the narrative, and something frightening happens. The individual is no longer the hero of a divine plot. The group is no longer the chosen center of history. Without the story, the universe suddenly becomes indifferent. And that is unbearable. So, they fight. From the outside, these stories can look irrational, exaggerated, even absurd. But from inside the bubble, the story is oxygen. Inside the story, you are the righteous one. You are the beneficiary of a higher truth. You are the one seen and guarded by God. In your story, your enemies are not just opponents. They are villains, misguided, damned, threats to meaning itself. And here is the uncomfortable insight. Human groups sense that everything they are exists within the margins of their story. Outside it, there is nothing certain, no guaranteed importance, no definite reward. So, love for the story is something deeper. It is collective self-love. What we call piety may often be feeding group self-worth. When an individual contests for his pride, we call it ego. When a group fights for its sacred narrative, we call it faith. But the psychology is not entirely different. Love of gods, love of ideals, love of sacred figures. These may sometimes be veils. Behind them stands a quieter impulse, the desire to remain central, to remain significant, to remain notable. And the story becomes a curtain that hides our vulnerability and perhaps our permanent childhood. Because without a story that places us at the center, we must confront a harder possibility: that the universe does not revolve around us, that history is not obliged to justify us, that meaning is not guaranteed. And that is a frightening freedom. So, we defend the story, not because it is beautiful, but because it protects the self from disappearing. Therefore, the real question for people is not, is the story true, but who would we be without it?